Okay, so this video is about the fireworks. I know there's a video in here playing, but I purposefully turned it down because I don't know that it's related to um this article. I don't believe it is. I think it's related to something totally different. It looks like Hamilton, but it says most of the Southern California fireworks shows were quietly canceled. And we know that those of us, because we're still currently in a pandemic and they don't want a lot of people gathering for those fireworks shows. But what was happening before 4th of July and all week and the week before that is they were setting up shop as the vendors that sell the fireworks were setting up shops around the cities. And I live, like borderline Inglewood, Los Angeles, Compton, and so it's you see booths that are set up like fairly early, and people were buying fireworks, and you can hear them all times of the night, and you might even heard some of it in some of the videos that I've done more recently because they had been popping fireworks all through the night. And for this 4th of July, yeah, you thought it would end after midnight. It was going on well into the wee hours of the morning, after 3 o'clock in the morning, fireworks. And so before 4th of July even approached, there has been a lot of what sounds like a bomb, car alarms going off. You can hear multiple fireworks, and then in between the fireworks, I'm sure that we heard actual gunshots. And so some of those fireworks don't all sound just like fireworks. Um, so this article, it says that a lot of the California fireworks shows were quietly canceled, and I believe that is because of the COVID-19 pandemic. So LA CBS LA, typically at this time of the year, Southern Californians are making plans to visit one of the dozen fireworks shows that are put throughout, or they put them on throughout the region. And so this year, however, has hardly been typical, and most of those shows have been quietly canceled. So the ongoing pandemic has prompted the cancellation of most of the summer events that draw big crowds, and so that's the reason why they don't want to put on those shows. So fireworks shows are no exception. So those that are canceled in person fireworks shows include, and so these were the shows that were canceled. Um, it's called America Fest in Pasadena. That show was canceled. Grand Park Music Center in downtown LA, Marina del Rey 4th of July fireworks show, Hollywood Bowl 3-night fireworks spectacular with the Beach Boys, Kaboom 2020 at the Fairplex in Pomona, the Crescenta Valley High School fireworks show in La Crescenta, July 4th at Mount Rubidoux, and La Sierra Park in Riverside, and Duarte's Independence Day celebration and fireworks spectacular in Newport Beach annual fireworks display. So most of the fireworks shows were canceled, and so it talks about most of those shows. Um, they usually are highly publicized in the weeks leading up to 4th of July, but this year in particular, they were canceled. Events were simply labeled canceled and online events listing removed without explanation. So they didn't even say, but we would know it had something to do with the pandemic. So in some cases, such as the Grand Prix Music Center, the city of Fontana's fireworks show and the Rose Bowl's annual event festivities are being moved online. So they moved some of the shows online so you could still see fireworks, but wouldn't be the same feeling as if you were out with your family or your friends. However, I did hear a lot of people shooting fireworks all night, and it wasn't the greatest at all. It was very noisy. It was very problematic to hear fireworks before 4th of July and after. I'm sure we're going to hear them. But it's starting to become a big problem lately. It's a noise disturbance. Because out of the blue you hear something sound like a bomb letting out. So Newport Dunes has confirmed that they will also host the virtual fireworks show. So those are the things that took place, I believe, yesterday. But only for their resort guests. And so the city Riverside is considering a similar move. So most of the cities they went and took to online shows. So Irwindale Speedway and the Joint Forces Training Base in Los Alamitos, however, are moving forward with the drive-in style event, while the cities of Buena Park, Orange, and La Habra have teamed up to put on afternoon vintage plane flyovers. So some did things different, like plane flyovers in cities, or they had you to drive up. You didn't get out of your car and gather with people local, which is pretty clever. That's a clever way of doing things. But you still have traffic and whatnot. So local law, if you can deal with the traffic, and you know, local law enforcement agencies such as Carson, Oxnard, and Pomona have increased patrols and are on heightened alert for the discharge and sale of illegal fireworks. Fireworks of any kind are illegal throughout much of the region because of the high wildfire danger, but some cities allow the sale of the use of safe and sane fireworks, is what they call them. But I'm sure we heard some that were illegal. I think that's pretty much the whole article. And so I just wanted to mention, I don't know if you've heard fireworks. There's been fireworks throughout the um, the week and before that. And so here, this is something that happened here in South LA. This was fireworks that set a tree on fire, and so I believe they're talking about it. It doesn't look so good, does it? I was worried about that happening to the cars. They're in areas where there's cars. They're in areas close to trees. I've seen kids out there unsupervised that are, letting out, lighting up fireworks and jumping around them. So yeah, I don't think it's safe at all. But anyway, I'm gonna play this video in the beginning. But I don't know why this happens. I don't know if this happens in your neighborhood, if you've seen this, where the parents are nowhere around to be found, but you see a group of kids gathering around fireworks and incendiary type paraphernalia. They have matches, they have lighters, and the thing that's crazy is they spend a lot of money on the fireworks. I went over there to a booth just to see how much they cost. They can be really expensive. You could find yourself spending more than $100 to $200 on fireworks, and I believe some people pay a lot of money for them. But however, these are the same people that are. Some of them are complaining that they don't have enough money for other things, but somehow they're using their money for fireworks and watching it blow up and explode in their face. So I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me. I think too that some of the people, if they actually read about, the 4th of July, it doesn't apply to everyone, unfortunately. And so that's another article that's unrelated, that's talking about COVID, a person who been seeing law enforcement and other people that are falling ill to the disease. So that's the reason why they don't want people gathering this year, and I don't know how long that's going to be. So fireworks shows for 4th of July had pretty much around the region that been canceled. Um, and those that weren't canceled, they found other ways to implement the shows where it would have either less crowds or no crowds drawing, where you would be at home and all up and down the streets you'll see the shell casings of what would have been like maybe firework, just fireworks, um, paraphernalia, things that you blow things up or whatever, ignite them. There was so much stuff out there, and I mean, right now a lot of people are asleep, and I might even go back to sleep because you could not get any sleep whatsoever. I think they didn't stop shooting fireworks until like 4 o'clock in the morning. That's how bad it was. And then even after 4, I could still hear somebody out there lighting up fireworks and shooting them off. And so it's become a huge problem with the fireworks before 4th of July and after. I've even heard a few of them pop off earlier, like about an hour or two ago. But what do you think about it? It's just really, it can be a drag. And what, you always hear every year all the stories about kids getting their fingers burned, their hands burned, but you don't see anybody, an adult supervising them with the fireworks. It's like, I don't get it. I think it's a waste of money, if you ask me. I think they should leave it to the professionals. That's my personal opinion. So I'm gonna let this video go. Thanks for listening.